Yo guys, PY Tech here and welcome to the first review on this channel. I plan on making videos like this, so if you're interested in tech, please do well to like, subscribe and share with your family and friends. So, today I'm bringing you the review of one of the most anticipated phones of last year, the Oneplus 2. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you pick up this device is its build quality. This phone has a metallic frame around it which gives it a premium look and feel, and also gives it some weight which makes the feel in the hand pretty good. It has nice chamfered edges and smooth sides, and because it's made of metal, it can sometimes be cold to the touch. This phone comes with a 1080p in-cell IPS display with a pixel density of 401 pixels per inch. It's much brighter than its predecessor and has more saturated colors, and it has a more cooler color tone. It has great viewing angles and is fairly visible under direct sunlight on full brightness. The display is made of a Gorilla Glass panel which is resistant to scratches and occasional drops. Now, taking a look around the device, you can find both the power and volume buttons on the right side of the device, and there are no ridges or patterns to differentiate them. But after a week or two of using this device, I got used to it, and these buttons are pretty tactile and very responsive. On the left side of the device, we have the alert slider, which is used to switch between different sound profiles on the phone, like all notification mode, do not disturb mode and priority notifications, and you can easily switch between modes without even taking the phone out of your pocket. On the top we have the 3.5mm headphone jack and a microphone. On the bottom we have the speaker grills and the USB Type-C port, which I'll talk about later. On the back of the device is the new 30MP camera, a dual tone LED flash, a laser autofocus system, and Oneplus logo. On the front we have a 5MP camera, LED notification light, proximity and light sensors, fingerprint sensors, and the capacitive buttons. And oh, did I mention it has a removable back cover? Yes, it does. And OnePlus is calling it a style swap cover, and you can change it for various other materials like bamboo, Kevlar, black apricot, and rosewood. But by default, it comes with a sandstone black cover, and I must say, the sandstone black cover helps with the grip of the phone. Getting the rest of the specs out of the way, this phone comes equipped with a Snapdragon 810 version 2.1 processor, an Adreno 430 GPU, a fingerprint sensor, 4GB of RAM, and a 3300 mAh battery, and 4G LTE. Talking about the fingerprint sensor, it's pretty accurate about 90% of the time in recognizing my print, and it's really cool at how fast it unlocks my phone. But its functionality as a home button is frustrating because you usually have to try a couple of times before it responds. This phone has two speaker grills, but the sound actually comes from only the right grill, and it's not very loud and it distorts at high volumes. And they try to make up for it by adding an equalizer so that you can tweak it to your preferred choice. Now, the USB Type-C port at the bottom is great in the sense that they are adopting new technologies which might be the next standard. But it means that right now in this moment it's not really necessary, and you miss out on features like quick charging and fast data transfers. Now this device runs OnePlus's own custom OS known as Oxygen OS, which is built on top of Android 5.1.1. It's almost close to stock Android, just with a few added customizations and features, which makes the user experience much more fluid and quicker. Features like double tap to wake, using certain gestures to launch different applications comes in handy, like drawing a circle on the screen when the screen is off to launch the camera, swiping down with two fingers to pause and play music, and the greater than and less than signs to skip and go to previous tracks or songs respectively. You can also rearrange the icons in the quick settings menu and also show the ones you would like to use frequently. In the settings and the customizations, you can activate a system dark mode and also change the notification lights and accent colors. You can also change the actions of the capacitive buttons and hardware buttons on a long press and double tap, and the buttons in the settings menu. And I have marked the double tap of the home button to launch the camera, just like in the Galaxy X's, and the long press to launch Google Now. You can also switch between on-screen and off-screen buttons. With this device having dual SIM capabilities, you can select what each SIM can be used for in the settings menu. For example, one for phone calls and the other for data. Now, one of the newest things is the introduction of Shell, which can be located on the furthermost left of the home screen, and is basically a housing for your widgets and frequent contacts. You also have the ability to install icon packs without having to download any launchers. Moving on to the camera, this phone has a 13 megapixel rear camera with laser assisted focus as mentioned before, and this phone takes some great photos. The camera interface is very minimal and clean. There are different photo modes such as HDR, clear and beauty mode. You can also use manual mode if you prefer that. Now on video, it shoots 4K videos at only 30 frames per second and slow-mo at 120 frames per second, but only in 720p. You can choose between various picture and video options such as time-lapse, slow motion, manual and panorama. In bright daylight, it shoots great pictures with great detail and saturation, but sometimes it overexposes some of the highs and lows of the pictures. When it comes to night shots, it takes a hit, as a lot of other smartphones do. Noise is seen and details are blurry and washed out, but sometimes using HDR helps improve on the shot, and there is less noise and you will notice some sharpening which makes the pictures look better. The video quality on this camera is okay. It takes really good 4K videos, but most of the time it keeps hunting for focus with slight movements, but it focuses quite quickly on subjects, and the optical image stabilization helps a little to keep the video from being shaky. This phone has a pretty good battery life. I usually get between 3.5 to a little over 4 hours of screen on time for normal use, but on busy days I get between 3 and 3.5 hours of screen on time. Though it doesn't match up to its predecessor, I think it's still pretty good. One of the main things that stops people from buying this device is Oneplus's invite system. You have to sign up to a reservation list so that you will be sent an invite to be able to buy this phone. I was hoping last year they would have gotten rid of this system, but it still exists, but fortunately it was shorter than the one they had 2 years ago. Another thing is the lack of expandable storage, NFC and wireless charging. For me, wireless charging is not really an issue. You can easily get a bunch of USB Type-C cables and you'll be ready to go. NFC is also something I don't really use much. I only use it to pair with some devices. I don't use it for mobile payments because here in the UK we don't have Android Pay or Google Wallet to take advantage of that. As for the lack of expandable storage, there's nothing much you can do about it, and I think buying the 64GB variant will be enough for most people. Personally, I think this is a great device for its price range of less than £300 in the UK and £400 in the United States. It has great specs, a great display with great viewing angles, a great 30 megapixel camera for great shots. I can easily recommend this phone to just about anyone who is in the market for a good phone. That is it guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do well to leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.